Okay, we are at 6:30. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. This is the Street Life Committee meeting of Community Board 8. My name is Abraham Salcido. Again, for the record, Tuesday, May 4th, 6:30 p.m. A few rules of the road. I'm going to go down the agenda and ask the representative for each application to go off mute, say their name, tell us a little bit about their application. At that point, I will then see if there's any questions or comments from the public on that application. And then if none, or after that, I will seek questions, comments, or motions from my fellow committee members. Just a reminder, any recommendation, resolution made by this committee is advisory and will then go to the full board meeting on Wednesday, May 19th, also to be held over Zoom. And I think with that, Will, do you want to give a couple of your rules of the road? Oh, well, you're on mute, I think.
That was fun. Okay, well, welcome everyone. And if this is one of the first times you're joining us, you'll notice that you are muted. You're going to remain muted throughout the entire meeting, except for whenever the chair calls on you to present or to ask questions. Following each application, Abraham will ask for members of the public who wish to speak. You can participate by going to the reactions icon and pressing the raise hand button, not the wave or the thumbs up. Those will disappear. Only press it once. If you press it a second time, your hand will go back down. If you are on the phone, it is *9 to raise your hand and *6 to unmute. Be on the lookout for a prompt asking you to confirm unmuting once Abraham calls on you. The chat is here for technical support with the Zoom software. It is not to ask questions of the applicants or to ask questions or give comments to Abraham or any of the board members. They will not see those chats. If you're using an older version of Zoom, you'll need to go to the participants section where you'll find the raise hand feature there. And finally, do not raise your actual hand and wave at the screen. We will probably not be able to see you. And if you have any problems, chat me. I'm here for your support.
Great, thanks, Will. And then just one last check. So we're aligned. I'm showing myself, Cause, Marco, and Ms. Brown as committee members present.
Let me check to see if there's any that joined us. No, that's it.
Yep, that's it for now. Okay, good. I will keep an eye out, but if you notice any additions, do let me know as always.
Barry will be joining momentarily. I see he's just signed into the sign-in form.
Perfect. Okay. Great. So in that case, we'll get started. Do I have the applicant for item 1A, Firm LLC? Again, tell us your name and a little bit about the application.
If you'll go ahead and raise your hand, it'll help us find you. I see that. Tom.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep. Hi, Tom.
Okay. How are you? This is after going to community board meetings an awful lot. This is the first time I've ever done it on Zoom, so forgive me.
Different experience, but welcome.
Yes, I've been very experienced in person, not experienced over Zoom. I'm the applicant for Herm. We're taking over the old Barn Books location. I have some restaurants on the Upper East Side, so over the years we always used to send our customers to Barn Books for after dinner, and so I'm very familiar with the spot, and I knew the landlord. So when the time came, I sort of raised my hand and said I would love to take it over. It sort of fits into what we currently do.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's been around since 1990 as a cocktail bar. And we sort of want to continue that use.
Okay. What's your vision for the space?
Just cocktail bar. Keep it similar to what it was. Yep. Refreshing it. Hasn't been refreshed in quite some time. We're not going to have smoking. The big difference is that, as some of you may know, Barn Books had that for people who are geeks about this sort of thing, in 1993, if you had a certain percentage of your sales in tobacco, you were allowed to have smoking or continue to have smoking, even after they made smoking legal inside. But we're not going to continue that. smoking.
Yeah. Okay, good to know. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Okay, for the purposes of the recording, I'm just going to go through the hours and make sure I have them correctly.
Mhm.
I'm showing 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. Monday through Thursday.
I think 5 p.m. I think that's 5 p.m.
Okay, those are fives. Okay, all right.
Sorry
So
about that.
5 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, great. 20% food, 80% drink, keeping in line with the cocktail bar theme. Okay, and then with that, I will first ask if there's any members of the public with questions or comments on this item.
Just a reminder, if you join late, you'll need to go to the reactions button at the bottom of your screen and click the raise hand button. Or if you're calling in from the phone, it's *9.
Okay, seeing none from the public, I will start with Mrs. Brown.
Good evening, everyone. I have a couple of concerns or I need clarification.
Mhm.
The hours are from 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week
Yes.
and operating as a bar, and it's
As
within
cocktail
a,
bar, yes.
and it's within a school zone, and the food ratio is 20%.
Yes.
Okay, and this is a new application.
It's a new application of a spot that's been around since 1990. I would like to add as well that there's only one liquor license within 500 feet. And the school exists on another street. And it's more than 200 feet away.
Okay, well, I have concern with the hours. I just think the 4 a.m. is just a bit much. Are you adjacent to any apartment buildings?
So if you look at the application, there's a picture from outside. So above me is commercial, to the left and the right, there's commercial on 2 floors. So that the establishment does not touch any residential apartments. So it's surrounded by all commercial. So on each side of the building, there's commercial on both the first floor and the second floor. And the building that we're in, it's commercial on both the first floor and the second floor. So you're not touching any apartments.
All right, thank you for your clarification.
Absolutely.
Great. Cause?
Yeah, I'm going to ask this question to all the applicants. Are all the member of the LLC or corporation going to be on the liquor license?
Absolutely. All my places are owned by 50% me and 50% my brother, and we're on every license ourselves. We have no partners or no silent partners and no investors.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Cause. And then now to Marco.
Thank you, Abraham. I'm a little concerned with the hours. That means I don't have no problem to support your application. This is a bar, and I think the hour is too long. Yeah, you should start thinking. I mean, it doesn't happen in 6 months, 7 months. You're welcome to come and review the hours. But I think 4 o'clock, I found a little bit problematic in my case. I support your business, no doubt. But the only thing is the hour is a little bit.
And Marco, let me jump in there for a second. This is one of the most well-known cocktail spots on the Upper East Side. This has been doing this 7 nights a week to 4 a.m. for 32 years. This is not a new idea. This is not a new location. This has been operating as a cocktail bar for 32 years. That's a long time. I myself have been a customer for a long time. Your neighbors, everybody my age to your age is a customer there. It's a well-known spot. I know so many people that live in the neighborhood that go there. I mean, we're sort of continuing on to what's happened for the last 32 years without any change. People our age, over the age of 40 on the Upper East Side, need a place to go that's not a Second Avenue bar. We need a much more higher experience, nicer crowd. what you're saying is that people over the age of 40 don't go out past a certain time of night, and that's not true. I'm trying to be upfront with you as possible to what we are. We're going to be a nice upscale cocktail bar for people who are older, your neighbors in the Upper East Side. They go out. I mean, from my experience, they go out past 2 a.m. Not every night, but on occasion they do. And when they do go out, they go to this location. I realize it's 4 a.m. But remember, Upper East Side is full of 4 a.m. spots for 25-year-olds. There's only one 4 a.m. spot for people over the age of 35, and this is it. It's special and unique. I can say this as a customer of theirs, and I've been there many times, and I've seen people, my neighbors on Upper East Side there, many times, past what you think is appropriate time.
Well, the situation is you are the new owner, which is good. You are going to supervise. It's excellent. I'm not challenging your skills in management, but 4 o'clock every single day, and that made me think. Raise concern the hours only, and everybody has the right to drink as much as they want. The only problem is they create a nuisance on the community. And that is, and you know what is the biggest problem is, since there are many bars in the area, when it's happened this problem, usually each restaurant pinpoint to the other one. And it's hard to determine which one it is. I'm not blaming you.
I know, but remember what I said. There's only one liquor license within 500 feet.
Yeah, 500 feet.
This is not. If you look at the map, okay. If you look at the map, I gave my package. There's for rent signs on almost every single building, okay, within 2-block radius of here. There's no other bar. There's no other restaurant. 73rd and Lex, there is nothing else there. You're not feeding. That location has never fed off any other place but itself. It's a destination spot for people over the age of 40 to have a drink. It's famous. I mean, I just, what you really, I mean.
Remember, keep in mind, I'm not saying that I'm not supporting your business. I support your business.
No, absolutely. But you realize this. My business though is a late night cocktail place. That's my business. So if you support my business, you'll understand that I need to be in business, particularly after the year that we've had here. I mean,
I understand also this problem that we have right now.
In the Upper East Side need, particularly after this year, to be able to have a drink past a certain hour. I mean, it particularly in a place that's been doing that for 32 years.
Let me ask a question. Can you consider some hours the reduction, some days? I don't know. It's just it's up to you, because I feel a little bit. I don't want to say nothing about your business, because I respect. We would like that you can have that business. We would like that you prosper in our community. That's what we like. But at the same time, we have to protect the quality of life of our neighborhood. And the only thing is, I'm asking you is to consider the 4 o'clock sometimes reduce, as much as you want.
I hear what you say. I'm definitely hearing what you're saying. But I'm coming to you telling you exactly what I'm going to be without any type of I'm being as straight up with you as possible. We're going to be a late night cocktail spot for people over the age of 40 in the Upper East Side to go to. It's very tough to do that if you close at midnight.
No. I'm not saying midnight. Come on.
I know, but I'm trying. There have not been noise complaints at that location. I look back for years. There have not been noise complaints at that location. And there have been no complaints.
So Tom, thanks for that, and thank you, Marco. So I just have a couple of points, and then I'll go to Mrs. Brown, who had her hand. Actually, I'm gonna go to Barry first, who hasn't spoken, and then Mrs. Brown. So I think I'm supportive of this application. I think typically what we try to do, and I get people's concerns around 4 a.m., but I know that from having chaired this committee for a long time, that on the avenues, we are more likely to be supportive of 4 a.m. I am looking at the pictures. I know this area well, that it is commercial on those first 2 floors. It is not like 2nd Avenue in that there's, bar after bar. I think it appears to me that the the intention behind this is to be a cocktail bar as the prior place was, and it was, I mean, I don't know that I ever saw complaints or crowds hovering around that location. So I would be surprised if that were the case now. So just from my standpoint, I would be supportive. I think, Tom, if what might be helpful is if we say, you know, if you would agree to stipulations, you know, to the extent of, ensuring crowd control, those kinds of typical things that we
Absolutely.
request of the bars with the longer hours. I think that would help go a long way in terms of getting support, not only at this committee, but then I think at the full board. And so with that, I'll let you marinate on that while I go to Barry and Mrs. Brown, and then you can let us know how you feel about that.
Absolutely. Thank
Okay.
you.
So Barry, I'll go to you first.
Yeah, I move to approve the stipulations you outlined, Abraham.
Okay, thank you very much. Before I get a second, I want to go to Mrs. Brown because I know she had a follow-up.
My concern was stipulations regarding crowd control and perhaps having the extended hours on the weekends or starting Thursday night as opposed to Sunday through Wednesday. I support the application. I think everyone is entitled to make a living, but the hours are troublesome for me. I don't think anything positive happens after midnight. Just being old, that's just how I've been raised and my experiences have proven. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going
Call
to
the
just
question.
okay, great. Yeah, so I'm
I'm
going
going to
to
call the question with the stipulations, please.
okay. Thank you. Perfect. Tom, just want to make check. So then the current motion is to approve your application with the stipulations around kind of crowd control and ensuring there's no congregation. At present, this motion would not amend your hours. So are you amenable and agreeable to that before we call the question?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. In that case, unless there's any objection, I would say call the question. We're going to call the question on this motion to approve with the stipulations on ensuring no crowd, there's crowd control to prevent noise and crowding, not only for noise safety, but also for COVID, as we do with our other late night applicants. Okay, so in calling the question, this, if someone is voting no, abstaining, or not voting for cause, please raise your hand, committee members. I just also want to check, Lori, I know you came in not at the beginning, but I believe you want to participate. You can give me the thumbs up if that's a yes. Hello,
No thumbs up. So
Lori. Oh, there it is. Okay, great. That's the thumbs up to participate. Great, thank you. Okay, so one more time. If anyone's voting no, not voting for cause, or abstaining, give me the virtual hands up or thumbs up. Otherwise, this is going to go down as an approval with the stipulations outlined. 3, 2, 1. Tom, thank you very much. That'll go to an approval to the full board. There may or may not be discussion, but as a unanimous, I would attend anyhow.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, everybody.
Enjoy your
Appreciate
evening.
it.
My pleasure.
And for the record, those in attendance were Abraham, Barry, Cause, Lori Boris, Marco Tamayo, Mrs. Brown, and Russell Squire.
That's what I have as well. Great. Okay, wonderful. Moving on to item 1B. Do I have representative of the Michael Egan DBA Irregulars?
Yeah, Michael, go ahead and unmute.
Okay, I think I'm all set with the unmute.
Great.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, good evening, guys. Everyone, thank you for your time and consideration. So Irregular Mikes, we're a newly formed LLC. I basically, long story short, I grew up in the restaurant business, was detoured from a dream of opening a nice English pub by a career on Wall Street that seems to be going south almost literally, as you know, all my clients and probably my firm are moving to Miami. I want to dig my roots even deeper in the city. And just with the way, I just have a deep desire to have a long-lasting business on the Upper East Side. And we don't plan to make a ton of change, like the last applicant. I mean, it was Baker Street, it was Fridays. It's been a bar and restaurant since the 1960s, from what I can tell. We're going to make some aesthetic changes. I plan on being around and running the place, and, looked at some apartments around the neighborhood today, and, being a part of this community. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to take any. Just in the spirit of saving time, I'm happy to yield to however you guys want me to go with this.
Great. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. Also, thanks for providing the menu in the application. I always find it enjoyable. So just for the recording's sake, hours of operation, 11 a.m. to 4 a.m. Monday to Sunday. Food, drink ratio, food 80%, 20%. The theme of the food is pub. So with that, first, I'll inquire whether there's any members of the public for this application. And again, feel free to give me the virtual hand raise. If not, then I will.
The hand for Barry is actually Judy Schneider.
Oh, okay, great. So let's go with Judy. I was hoping you'd participate, as this is right in your area.
Judy, go ahead, and Barry, go ahead and unmute.
You're not unmuted, Judy.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay, now you are.
Okay. We're having computer problems in the house. Mr. Egan,
Yes.
we're happy to have the restaurant reopened. We missed someone being there after being here for 50. And will you be serving the same kind of bar food that, I don't know if you were ever there when it was Baker Street or Fridays?
I was
Can
there.
you tell us a little bit more about how the restaurant,
Yeah, so
how it will function?
Yeah, so in terms of, you were breaking up a lot there. In terms of menu, I would call it high-end pub. It's not just going to be burgers and fries. I did submit a copy of a working menu. Some healthier stuff, salad stuff, burgers, and a couple of entrees, nothing too crazy. And some sort of snacks that we want to be able to serve late night as well. Brunch, I expect brunch to be a big thing. I expect it to be a great family atmosphere whenever that's possible, until the lights go out. And I expect it to be, more of an older crowd. I don't, older, I mean, just in terms of the way the last applicant was speaking about, it's not going to be a place full of 25-year-olds. I'm almost 50. I spent 25 years on Wall Street. My brother has been in the restaurant business in New Jersey and is moving, back in to do this with me. And it's going to be a family restaurant that everybody on this call is most certainly welcome at whenever I'm there, which is going to be a lot.
And what about music?
As of right now, what we're planning on doing, I don't know what, I could barely read the CO, to be frank, that I was able to attain. I was never at Baker Street where there was a band or a DJ or anything like that. I read some stuff about them having a DJ, but it would all be.
No, they didn't have music.
Yeah, certainly no
other
live
than
music. Certainly no live music.
piped in music.
Yeah, certainly no live music.
We lost the signal.
Now we lost the signal.
Okay, thank you, Michael.
Can you hear us at all?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us, Barry?
We're gonna.
Okay. Well, let's put them on mute while they come back to us. If they can come back to us, if they resolve their internet connection. In the meantime, we'll go to cause, and then I will have a comment as well afterwards.
Yeah, I'm going to ask this same question. Maybe if all the applicants can stipulate that all the owners of the LLC or corporation are going to be on the license, then there won't be any need for me to ask it, just for the record. Again, are all the owners going to be on the SLA application and on the license?
Yes, in this case, yes, and I'm sorry I had to ask again. I meant to say that at some point.
Okay, thank you.
Great. And
Move to
then-
approve. Oh, no.
Thank you, Cause. All right, Marco, I'm gonna go to you.
How many people will be in the space?
All in with staff and patrons, the way we have it mapped out is about 100.
100. So you have a certificate of operations
Yeah, the way I read it, it says,
or public assembly. Do you have that?
yeah. Yeah, I mean, my attorney's not on the call. I believe we have everything that we need for the scope of what we're talking about. I only have one CO.
Yeah, the CO is fine, but you have to have a public assembly permit.
For over 100 people, you mean?
No, over 75.
Over 75, okay,
It is required.
okay.
I may have it. You may have it. It's
Yeah,
a
I'm
big-
not sure. I don't know if the previous licensee had it. I don't know.
Oh,
Okay.
I think they may have. If they have the same, but it's good to have that one. Once you have for somebody else, the rest can inherit that permit.
Yeah, so
The
I'll
only
just plead
situation is
ignorance. I don't know the answer.
the only situation is we can stipulate that you're going to provide the public assembly permit, which I think you may have.
Yeah.
Just only as a matter of protection. That's it.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
so yes, I think Michael, I think it's likely that the prior had it, but and obviously your attorney will guide you better. But yeah, if it's going to be more than 75, it's something you'll need to present anyway. So I have no doubt you will get it. So we regularly just added that, once you get it, you'll send a copy over to us. And then just in the interest of fairness and parity to the prior applicant and to kind of all of the Avenue applicants that are 4 a.m. Would you also be amenable to the kind of the noise and crowding control requirements that we have to make sure that there's not crowding and smokers outside, not loud noise?
Absolutely, 100%.
Great. So we'll include that. So Cause your move to approve, if you don't mind my amending with those stipulations, I would second that. Great, thank you for that thumbs up. Okay, so then I think now with our small crowd, are we okay to call the question? I think so. Okay, so this is a move to approve, again with the noise stipulations because it's a 4 a.m.er. So if anyone's voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining, give me a sign. Otherwise, this will go as an approval. And then just Barbara, I'm not sure when you joined. Are you participating in this?
I heard enough of it, I think.
Okay,
Be up to
perfect.
you, but I heard
Yep,
enough.
okay. I will include you. Thank you, Barbara. So that will go, oh, Barry, you're back?
I just want to know, I'm back. I have no idea how long, but I'm voting yes on
You
this
have to leave
application.
now.
Okay, great, Barry. So yes, thank you for that. So we made a motion to approve and we just added in the typical 4 a.m. noise control stipulations. So thank you for that. And there were no abstentions, not voting for cause or no's. So thank you very much. And Michael, good luck to you.
Thank you very much for your time, guys. Good luck the rest of the evening. I'll be paying attention.
Great, thanks. Okay, do I have the representative for Maman 1C? Hopefully I pronounced that correctly.
Go ahead. Go ahead and unmute Ben.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Ben Savitsky of Bernstein Rado on behalf of Maman UES LLC. They are an applicant for a full on-premises liquor license for an all-day cafe and restaurant at 1424 3rd Avenue. That is on 3rd Avenue. It's between 80th and 81st Street. Some of you may know it. It was previously Irving Farms Roaster. I think it was there for about 3 years. As the entity's name indicates, the cafe is called Maman. It actually means mom in French. So this is an important week for them considering Mother's Day is coming up. But it's a Southern France-inspired cafe. It has currently 7 locations in New York City and 2 internationally. It was started in 2014 by Ben Sormonti, who should be on this call, and his partners. Their locations currently are all downtown. They are in Soho, Tribeca, Nomad. If you've had a chance to visit one of them, you'll know that they are pretty welcomed addition to pretty much every neighborhood that they're in. not only because the food is good and the pastries are good and all-day coffee is always great, but also because their interiors are very lively with plants and flowers, and they are decorated in a kind of a rustic French farmhouse style that's very charming and very welcoming in all the neighborhoods. As I mentioned, Ben is on the call with us. He is the owner and the principal, and he can answer any questions that you have about the operation of the other locations and what they're planning on doing up here on the Upper East Side. I'm pretty sure it's all the same, and that should be a good thing for the neighborhood. And to Cause's point, all owners of the LLC will be disclosed on the SLA application. That is not something to be concerned about. Before any questions, I just want to give you the fine points of the application. Again, it's a full OP license application, and it's for an all-day cafe and restaurant and bakery. We included a copy of the menu in the application documents that we submitted. Just to summarize, it's kind of family-inspired meals that are influenced by the French background of the owners. All things are made locally and locally sourced using locally sourced ingredients. If you look at the menu, there's some breakfast favorites on there. There are eggs and omelets and waffles and parfaits, sandwiches, soups, salads, and treats all day. We also included a copy of the floor plans. It's about 2,250 square feet. There are 19 tables, 47 seats at those tables, and a six-person couch. There is no traditional stand-up bar. This is not a bar, and there are obviously no bar stools to go along with that. The occupancy is less than 75. The proposed hours of operation are 7:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily, except on the weekends. They're going to be opening at 8 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. Generally, the cafe closes, at least the other ones do, and this one will as well, at around 7 o'clock at night. The 11 o'clock is in case somebody would like to have a bridal shower or a baby shower, which are things that the other operations have quite often. It just gives them a little bit more flexibility, but generally the space is closing about 7 p.m. every night. There's only recorded background music. There is no live music. There's no DJ music. And anyway, there are no operable windows in the space anyway, so it shouldn't be any concern as far as music. With that, I'll leave it to you guys to ask any questions.
Great, thank you so much. So first, I will go to inquire whether there's any members of the public on this application. Seeing none, I will start with Mrs. Brown.
Thank you. The gentleman had covered my concerns specifically about the music and the capacity and the tables and et cetera. Great. And I will support this application, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Marco?
And thank you, Ibrahim. I would like to propose a motion to approve and then to speak. Somebody want a second?
Yes.
Okay.
And I second.
So I think, Abraham, what this applicant described about this business, that should be a model to all the applicants, because we cannot start asking questions when in reality the applicant knows very well all the answers. In this case, it was straightforward, explain everything, and I feel also very comfortable in the hours that they are closing too. So I think all the applicants should come and express in the way that he did very well. He clarified all the issues, and I think it's easier to go move forward. And this is what I recommend the application to be approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
So we have a second. Cause?
Yeah, I have one question basically for all the applicant. It's more of an informational question. If the capacity goes to 75% or 100%, if it's still the 6-foot clearance, how do you get the number of people in there?
I'm sorry. I'm guessing this is about COVID concerns?
Yeah, if the capacity is, what's it now, 75%.
Mm-hmm.
So 75, say you get 100 for round figures. So theoretically, you can have 75 people in there, you know, if your capacity is 100. But with a 6 foot, how do you get 100 people with a 6 foot coverage, 6-foot distance between tables?
Ben, if you're on, you can maybe answer that question about how you deal with it at your current operations. I imagine that you could only have the occupancy that your social distancing protocols actually allow.
Right. So really the 75 or 100% until the social distancing goes away is pretty well irrelevant. Okay, thank you. Just an interesting question.
Thanks,
Call
Carl.
the question.
Okay, great. So we're going to call the question as a move to approve. If you're voting no, not voting for cause, or abstaining, give me a signal. Okay, seeing none, this will go as a unanimous approval. Also, I note that we don't have Barry in this vote, so I will not tally him on this one. Okay, thank you very much and good luck. Okay, now to item 1D as in David, DBA Jeremy's. So we have the representative.
Is that Jeremy Schaller?
Yes.
Okay, and go ahead and unmute.
Hello.
You're unmuted.
Great. My name, go ahead.
Oh no, please go ahead. Tell us about your application.
Sure. My name is Jeremy Schaller. I'm the 3rd generation owner and operator of Schaller & Weber here on the Upper East Side in Schaller Stuba, our little sausage bar right next door. I'm looking to open up a bar called Jeremy's that's going to play tribute to some of the other establishments here in the past in the Upper East Side, kind of like Elaine's and Elsie's that were here, bars that I love because they had a ode to classic New York. Schaller & Weber has been an institution up here for many, many years, and the theme of the bar is going to keep the spirit of Old Yorkville alive. The drinks are going to be each named after some sort of a historical component of the area, and it's going to be a small capacity, about 28 people is what we're shooting for, and we'll only have recorded background noise as well.
What type of, was it the food drink ratio is 50-50? What type of cuisine?
So the cuisine is going to be A, raw bar, and B, all charcuterie boards and cheese boards that will be presented from Schaller & Weber's food and what we have in the store.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay, so before I take any questions from the public, just again for the purpose of the recording, hours of operation, Sunday to Thursday, 11 a.m. to 12, and then Friday, Saturday, 11 to 2 a.m. Food drink ratio.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say, based on some of the other applications, I wanted to know if we could push back a little further on some of those, possibly to Sunday through Wednesday till 2, and then the other nights, which would be Thursday, Friday, Saturday till 4.
It is your application, so if that's what you're proposing now, then I'll let that digest with committee members.
Okay.
And then in the meantime, I will see if there's any members of the public for this application.
Okay.
Just a friendly reminder that you can participate by going to the reactions button at the bottom of your screen and clicking the raise hand button, or it's *9 on the phone.
Okay, seeing none at the moment, then I will go to Marco, then to Barbara.
Thank you, Abraham. I think Schaller & Weber has been an institution in our community. This is one of the few of business that remain for a long time. And I think what you're requesting is reasonable. And I don't think you're going to lose your license or your prestige in the Upper East Side. And always I would like to see Schaller & Weber. I love the sausage, by the way.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And I would like to recommend the approval for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marco. Barbara?
Are you taking over the bakery next door?
We are. They're looking
That's
for
right.
a new space. They've outgrown.
Yes,
the
yeah.
current space. So We're on very good terms with them, very friendly, and we hope that.
Right. I know you wanted to use their bakery to sell their baked goods during the time.
Love their stuff, and we can't wait for them to come back soon. Absolutely.
Right. And you ought to serve your fried chicken also. I'm approving it. Yeah.
Okay, so-
Very happy. I'm a neighbor and I'm very thrilled that
Fantastic.
we'll
Thank
be
you.
doing that.
Wonderful. So we have approval, a second, and we'll call the question unless anyone objects. And then this is an approval. So if you're voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining, give me a sign. Otherwise, we will approve without further delay. Great. Thank you very much and good luck, and look forward
Thank you
to
so
the
much.
extension.
Okay.
Okay, great. Moving along to item 1E, do I have a representative for Smashburger?
Is that Maston? Go ahead and unmute.
All right, yes.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much. Good evening, members. I'm also joined here by Clark Earthman. I don't know if he can unmute as well. I saw Clark on my screen earlier.
Yep, I see his hand.
Great.
Hi guys, how you doing today?
Good, hi.
Great. So, again, good evening. My name is Maston Santom. I'm a representative for Smashburger Acquisition New York LLC. I'm joined here by Clark Earthman, who is the Director of Operations. We are appearing for an on-premise liquor license located at 804 Lexington. This is this is a full on-premise liquor license. The hours of operation are from 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. There also is, importantly, there's a patio area that we're looking to have licensed. That patio area would, of course, have different hours from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. There would only, as far as indoors, there would only be recorded music only. Clark, actually, you might be able to shed a little light on this. I'm not sure. Will there be music piped outdoors? Do you know?
No, we'll probably just have the music inside of. If you do have music outside for the patio, it will only be during, the daytime hours. It won't be during the nighttime. And we'll be open from 8:30 in the morning to 10:30, Monday through Sunday. The bar will be on the second floor, and beer, wine, and liquor, but nothing crazy. None of us Smashburgers do anything, past midnight anyway. So we'll be open during, decent hours.
Right. And this is recorded music only. There will be there will be 10 tables with 28 chairs on the patio. And inside, there would be 64 seats total, 12 at the bar. Again, this is a Smashburger. It was previously licensed. It was similar establishment, so I have not been there, but it was a Burger Heaven. And all of the staff and managers are trained, tips trained, and have proper understanding of what needs to be done in the event someone visibly intoxicated seeks to purchase alcohol or something like that. So I'd like to just turn it over to Clark again, just so he could talk a little bit about his experience. I know he has a lot of experience operating similar business. Clark.
Hey guys, yeah. So I've been with a little bit about me. I've been with Smashburger for about 10 years now, running the ones in Brooklyn, Queens, and Manhattan. We used to have a location. We had two locations in Manhattan, on 34th Street and William Street. We had those locations, during COVID. Unfortunately, because of COVID happening, we had to shut those two locations down. But we planning on opening Lexington and 7th Avenue, this coming year. We have 3 locations in Brooklyn right now. We have one coming up in Queens in June, and then we have 3 locations in the Bronx. They serve beer and wine right now, and we have all our managers certified with a liquor license, so they know how to handle it. They know how to train the staff. We don't have any minors, serve alcohol to any patrons that come in, and majority of the people that come in, it's usually 1, maybe 2 drinks they'll have with their meal at the time. Even with the COVID restrictions coming up to 75%, this week, we just limited the amount of spacing that we can have people inside the restaurant. So we'll keep everybody at a safe distance. All the employees know to keep their masks on, changing their gloves, and we just want to be a big help to the community. We like to do fundraisers in any locations that we're around, so we can help the community grow and do the best that we can.
Great, thank you very much. So before I go to questions of the public and then committee members, Maston, to cause this question, all ownership are on the license or will be on the license?
Yeah, so there are certain principles on the license. Obviously, the ownership of Smashburger is a little bigger than that, but what the SLA does is they put like a holding company that goes up to the corporate chain. So ostensibly, yes, all owners are held responsible, if you will, for anything that does occur on the liquor.
Okay, thank you very much for that. First, do I have any members of the public? Okay, seeing no hands, I will go to Mrs. Brown.
Yes, Abraham. I failed to ask previously if you could ask the applicants to advise us if there's going to be takeout delivery service, and if they're going to have delivery service, is it going to be operated by them or a second or third party? That's number one. And with regard to the patio area, is the patio area open to apartments in the back? Can someone answer that, please?
Yeah, sure. First, to answer your first question, there will be delivery service. The delivery service will be done by a third party, for example, a Grubhub or something like that. As far as the patio goes, patio's not out back. It's on. So the location is actually on the corner of Lexington and I want to say 62nd Street. Clark, you may be able to correct me, but this is on the patio. Will be sitting on the 62nd Street side.
Yeah.
It is in fact.
So just looking at the diagram on the map, sidewalk that they along the side, and then checking the pages. And I do have the affidavit, which again refers to abiding by the bicycle laws, having the vest and no electric bikes, and ensure that any third parties that they contract with will not do so either.
Yeah.
But did you state there was decking in the back or on the side, and it does not affect any of the residential buildings? Is that what I heard? Because Clark had broken up and I couldn't hear what he was attempting to say.
Yeah, I'm sorry, to be clear, it's a sidewalk. So it's not like a back patio or anything like that.
Okay, I understand. Well, Abraham, I can and will support this application, and good luck to you, sir. I wish you the best.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Thank you.
Great. And Marco?
I don't have the information about the legality of the venue. Are you agreeing the stipulation to put it that you have the CEO, you have the public? How many people are you planning to have on the first floor and the second floor?
I believe the maximum is, I want to, 96 people.
Okay, so you have your public assembly permit, you have everything ruled. Can we put in the stipulation that you have that one?
So currently, the premises is currently under construction. We do have a certificate of occupancy that had been issued. Boy, in reviewing it, it was quite a long time ago. There are some renovations just to change from what it looked like, obviously, in the interior, nothing major structural. Yeah, the last certificate of occupancy was issued in 1988. On the first floor, 97 people was the maximum occupancy. On the second floor, was 50.
But my question is, do you have the public assembly permit, or can we put in the stipulation that you're going to provide that one?
Yes, I mean, absolutely. If we need, I believe you need a public assembly permit if there's more than 75.
You're right.
Yeah. So all of those will be obtained prior to, in order to obtain the state.
Okay. Great. So then we'll just request that you provide that once that's obtained and is part of the application.
One more thing. This is I should start raising the issue. Lorraine Brown, she raised the issue of the bikes. To tell you the truth, bike is a nightmare. Bike is a big problem for this community. I know that you have a third-party service, but I think we have to figure it out, because in some way you hire those people and you have some control of them, because those people, they go on the sidewalk, they don't obey the traffic law, and they do a lot of stuff that we put in danger the people in the community. So I think we have to start thinking more careful about this third-party service or this third-party deliveries. So, because in some way, if they behave improperly, you have the chance to fire them and employ another one to be more responsible, which is good for your business, good for the community. And I mean, I'm a little bit concerned with that part. And do you think that you're gonna put as a part of the stipulation that in the event that we have a complaint about the service, you figure it out to have another company? Because when you fire, you reduce the work for them, and they don't want to lose work.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Certainly be receptive to any complaints that you have that involve anything that really relates to the.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
One of the biggest problems that the community will have is the bicycle. And if you are susceptible for my request, and I would like to support your application, and please, we would like to put as a part of the stipulation that part, that you have a commitment to fire the person you receive.
So
something like that.
Marco,
I'm not asking too much.
So let's hang on a second, Marco. I think we need to be consistent across the board, and we can't have one applicant say that they will fire
everybody.
But I think that if specific complaints with regards to third-party bicyclists that are ascribed to them, that they will look to address those as we raise them.
That's a very good idea, because I think if you help us, it helps your business too, and it helps the community.
So Okay, so I think with that, I think that wording provides a little just more cooperation as opposed to a hard and fast approach like that.
Well, the question.
Right. Okay, so we have the approval, the second, and now calling the question. So if anyone's voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining, give me a signal. Okay, seeing none, this will go as an approval. Thank you very much, and good luck, and look forward to your coming to the neighborhood.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.
Great.
And just for the video record, the members in attendance right now are still Abraham, Barbara Rudder, Cause, Lori Boris, Marco Tamayo, Mrs. Brown, and Russell Squire.
That's, yep.
If I missed anybody, raise your hand.
Okay. Now moving to section 2, do I have the representative for Sushi Ren? This is a renewal and alteration.
I see an LC has their hand up. If that is you, I'm going to unmute you. Please just identify yourself.
Actually, I actually had a question about new business. Is this the appropriate time to discuss new business?
Yeah, no, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I see.
Knowing there is some, we take that at the end of the last section, so we will knowingly raise that.
No, I'm here.
Are you? Oh, hi.
I'm here.
Okay.
You?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm not. Okay, yeah. Yes, good evening, members. Yeah, so this the alteration. They use the place in the 1584. Right now, they want to extend to the 1586. So they will combine both place for the sushi place. So the operating, everything keeps same. They just extend it to one more store.
So if I'm understanding correctly, the alteration is to extend the outdoor tent to the adjacent space and therefore adding the square footage to the license. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, they will add 1586.
Okay.
The next store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And no other changes?
No.
Okay. Thank you very much. So first, I'll see if there's any members of the public on this one. Okay, seeing none, Mrs. Brown first.
Thank you. I support this application and move to approve. Thank you.
Thank you. Marco?
Yes, thank you. I would like the second, but again, and I think I would like to raise the issue of the bikes. And we have to be consistent with all of the applicants. And I would like to see if he's willing to collaborate because they do a lot of deliveries, this type of foods. So I would strongly recommend that we can do something within the stipulation and about the bikes regulations, because this is a big problem for the community. And I don't know if Mr. Wan wanna participate in that part or not. But yes, I support your application because this is a restaurant, but you have the deliveries.
Yeah, yes, they do have the delivery, but I didn't see any complaints. But anyway, yeah, no, the owner Leo is already signed the affidavit, so yeah, they will obey the bicycle law from your board.
And if we have any issues, we can reach out and you will work with us.
Yeah. Yes, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you. So with that, we have a approval and a second. Shall we call the question then on this one? Great. If anyone's voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining, give me a sign. Otherwise, we will go with an approval. Thank you very much and continue. Good luck.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Okay, item 2B. Do I have a representative for Sequoia Le Moulin Cafe, A Cafe?
Yes, I'm here and my client Jan, he's also there.
Hi.
He raised his hand. I think he still needs to be unmuted.
Yes, thank you.
There we go. Hi, my name is Zara Lucas, and I am the representative of Sequoia Tree. And I am here with the owner and operator, Jan. I will just run through the basics of the application, which really isn't much, because Jan has been operating at this location for, is it 10 years now, Jan? Since 2011?
Yes.
The premises, for those that are not familiar, is located on York between 76th and 77th Street. He's been operating a small French bistro and gourmet market for some time. It's become a neighborhood staple now. And this application is to upgrade his license from a beer and wine license to a full liquor license, so that he can expand his alcohol offerings and in some hopes recover from last year's losses, and get the business back on track. I'll let Jan speak a little bit about any tweaks he may be making to operations and his standing in the neighborhood.
Yes, my name is Jan. I'm not so sure if everybody can hear me.
Yes, we can. Hi.
I just operating a small French cafe on the Upper East Side, as Zara mentioned, for the past 10 years. We are the neighborhood cafe. We mostly bakery and a small cafe. We extended just right before the COVID opening for the evening dinner. We operate from 5 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. and 9 p.m. sometimes. And some of the customers, they're just requesting, some cocktails. So it's not a full bar. It's just some, liquors that can be available at the cafe in addition to wine and beer. It's a very small operation and it's very simple.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Then I will inquire if there's any members of the public on this item. Seeing none, I will go to Marco.
Yeah, motion to approve. This is a very nice restaurant. A cafe. I've been there. I know that what they're doing the right thing. They close so early, so this is not a problem at all for the community. On the contrary, is an asset for the community, and I strongly support this application. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I agree, and I will go to Mrs. Brown.
Second the motion, please.
Great. So we have the seconds. In that case, I will call the question, and I will invite anyone that's voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining to give me the sign. Otherwise, this will go as an approval, and I suspect it will. 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much. Good luck, and glad to have you around.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving along to item 2C, Brandy's. Do I have a representative for Brandy's Piano Bar?
Looks like John Chang.
Yes, John Chang. Yes.
Hi there.
Hi there. How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Thank you very much. I believe my client James Lazur is on. I think he's on his assistant's computer, Mario Davila's computer. James. I'm not sure if he can unmute.
If he can raise his hand using the reactions button at the bottom of his screen, or turn his camera on and at least wave at me, I'll be able to see him. But nope, found him. James Lazur.
You're on. Okay, yes, sir. I'm here.
Hi. Tell us about your application here.
Should I speak then?
Yes, yes.
But very simply, okay. Yeah. Brandy's, the official name of the corporation is 235 East Cafe Inc., also known as Brandy's, for many, many years, since 1985, was pretty much owned by one owner, Joseph Connell, for many years. Prior to his demise in December 18th of 2018, he added on James Lazur, who has been his longtime friend and also his manager at his restaurant, as a 6% partner, and and also named him in his will as his sole successor or sole beneficiary in his will. After his demise, we've been probating his estate, Mr. Connell's estate. We're still in it because of COVID. We should have had a meeting, a hearing in the Surrogates Court last spring, 2020. 2020. But due to COVID, the court hearing was adjourned. Otherwise, we would have gotten our letters of testamentary by now and processed all of our paperwork to make everything official. However, we realized it is time just to submit this application anyway for corporate change so that we can get at least some kind of certification, if not official, but at least pre-certification from the community board and the state liquor authority to permit the corporate change so that all the shares of 235 East Cafe Inc. will become in ownership of James Lazur. Brandy's is a restaurant slash bar, and it serves full liquor, wine, beer, very small menu for basically bar food. But it's also known as a piano bar in the area, and it's been operated very successfully for many, many years. It's basically open from basically 7 days a week, from official hours of operation of 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. It has like square footage is like 782 square feet, got 23 tables, 44 chairs. It stays within the limits of the public of a public assembly permit, so below 75, usually about 60, 65 customers per night maximum. So, but this is really a very simple corporate change application. We appreciate that your committee could duly approve it.
Thank you very much, John. So yes, and we're sorry to hear about the passing. And so yes, it just looks like it's a straightforward corporate change for one now sole ownership interest. So first, I will see if there's any members of the public on this particular application.
You can raise your hand through the reactions button at the bottom of your screen.
If not, then I will start with Marco.
Motion to approve. I think this place has been, even though that you operate until very late, you have been many years in that location. We didn't receive no complaints, so to change the hands, I don't think there's nothing wrong. And good luck and keep operating in our neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you, Marco. I will happily second that and call the question unless anyone objects. And so if anyone's voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining, give me the sign. Otherwise, we will approve this application. Great. Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. All right, so we're now into section 3. Do I have a representative for item 3A, Stella and Fly?
Hi, Nadia Shahjahan, representing UES Coffee, DBA Stella and Fly. I also have the general manager, Nigel O'Callaghan, is available as well.
Okay, great. So tell us what transpired with the application.
So we are requesting the community board to grant a 30-day notice waiver as soon as we discovered that the renewal advisory from the SLA never made it to UES Coffee. And so as soon as we discovered the fact that we sent the community board notice right away, we realized that the expiry of the license would occur before the 30 days notice, standard notice would run its course. So we're requesting the community board to agree to this one-time waiver of the 30-day notice. And we are here to answer any questions. I can address some questions that have already been raised. Stella and Fly is a coffee shop wine bar in the community. Since its relatively recent opening in 2018. It's become an integral part of the community. It's at 1705 First Avenue, between, I believe, 88th and 89th Street, serving coffee, pastries during the day for its coffee shop hours. People have gone there to work remotely. It is a great place to work remotely. It offers an excellent source, and in the evening time, it has specialty cocktails, locally sourced wine, focusing on local and women winemakers. And yeah, in terms of Stella & Fly does not do delivery, so, and has signed the affidavit agreeing to to abide by the laws of bicycle delivery should, for whatever reason, they do in the future. The Stella & Fly is very sensitive to its residents' noise complaints. Everybody in the block has the general manager's number. They can reach out directly to him, and very diligent about controlling any sort of noise complaints, which there have not been any, if any minor. There was one minor 311 complaint on the night of the election in 2020, which I believe is probably understandable due to the spirit of the election. And I believe also, to Cause's point, all the LLC members that are on the liquor license with the SLA.
Great, thank you so much. And there's no other changes, just straight renewal, right?
No, yes, correct.
Okay, okay, do I have any members of the public on this application? Seeing none, I will go to Marco.
Thank you. Well, I think you are extremely very honest to tell us that there is a complaint. I think we had to support otherwise this application, and especially that section is the area what most of the places has been shut down. And I think we had to support this business because it's just only 30 days away. And that's it. Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
I agree, and I second that. And call the question unless anyone objects. So if you're voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining, give me a sign. Otherwise, we will approve this. Thank you very much, and we enjoy your being in the neighborhood.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Okay, do I have a representative for Chipotle?
Go ahead and unmute Sydney.
Hi, I'm Sydney Calicote. I am a Chipotle Mexican Grill licensing coordinator here on behalf of our site located at 1497 3rd Avenue. Mm-hmm. This is in regards to a 30-day waiver request. The situation was that our post office box had been withholding mail from us, and we did not get the renewal advisory within the time frame that we needed to submit the 30-day notice. Again, I don't believe that, our renewal advisories are sent to our corporate office and not our local establishment. And again, our PO box had just not really sure what happened specifically with the post office, but we were unable to send that renewal notice out within the timeline.
Understood. Thank you for that clarification, Sydney. Okay, I'm going to ask if there's any members from the public on this item. Okay, seeing none. Marco?
Motion to approve.
I will second that. We'll call the question. So if anyone's voting no, not voting for cause or abstaining, let us know. Otherwise, this will go as a approval. So thank you very much, Sydney. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Great. Likewise. And okay, so last but not least, I know that there is an item of new business from LC. So let us know what you have.
Hi, yes. So my name is Leo Chen, and what I wanted to raise is an issue with a restaurant that operates on East 77th Street. It's a restaurant called Cafe Bon Justo. Okay. And issues that we've had with noise in connection with this restaurant. Okay. And so obviously there have been multiple complaints, similar to what Mrs. Brown mentioned earlier, is that they have a patio, it faces the back and faces residential buildings. And, I personally have been here over 10 years, and, it certainly has gotten worse over the years, and certainly almost, unmanageable since the periods of COVID, in which there is certainly greater outdoor dining. So, we've obviously filed complaints, and, there could certainly be records there. My understanding is that, looking at their liquor license, they don't have a license for the patio. And so we were thinking that they would appear today either seeking a change or seeking a new license. And even just now, when I looked earlier, I actually could not find a valid license for them with the New York State Liquor Authority for the business at all. They looked to all be expired. But at a minimum, they did not have a license covering their patio. And I think we worked with the assistant district manager for Community Board 8, Max. I'm going to mangle his name a little bit. Vandelite, I believe his name is. And he assisted trying to reach out to the business, and they were very non-cooperative and refusing to engage. So a number of people that you'll have on this call today, they're residents of buildings surrounding and also facing the back. And I don't know if it's necessary for everyone to speak up now, but you'll see that there's certainly a show of attendance at this particular meeting to certainly express our perspectives and our interests in the event that this this operation does seek to have a license either renewed or somehow changed. Okay. The other element here is like what other avenue that we can seek assistance from the Street Life Committee here in the event that, either to approach that particular business or to identify whether they actually do have a license or are in violation of the State Liquor Authority laws.
So I think here, thank you for raising this, first of all. I will have a couple of follow-up questions, but yes, I think generally what we will have is that I'll work with with Max and kind of see what the volume of 311 complaints are, and also see if we can get clarification on the status of the license. I would be quite surprised and dismayed if their license has lapsed, because we do bring all renewals come before us, so that shouldn't be a case, and they've been there for quite a bit of time. So hopefully it's just a matter of locating it rather than it not being in existence. So with that, we would look at what the next renewal date is. If it happens to be in the near future, then great, the timing aligns, and we can raise this as a topic when we invite them for the renewal. If the renewal is further afield, then we would seek to invite them nonetheless to address these concerns. I don't know to what extent the existing outreach has been, but we can send formal letters, and if those consistently get either not addressed, then we can also reach out to SLA to see what assistance they can give. But just for clarification on your point, is the noise general, both the rear patio and the new, because I know they have the new front enclosure because of COVID. So I just want to make sure I understand the situation properly.
It's the rear patio. So the buildings we have face the interior between the buildings.
Yep.
Like, can we hear some of the noise from the front side? Probably, but obviously it's a back patio. In the backyard that face the back sides of all the other buildings behind.
Okay. So it is the back patio, and that always is problematic because that will echo into the other surrounding buildings. And do you have a sense of what the is there a particular time that the noise is loudest? Do they go late into the evening? Is it just kind of all day? What's the scope?
The worst times are going to be Friday and Saturday nights.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there have been different curfews throughout the COVID period, and so they've consistently gone past those, and they also will play music fairly loudly in the back as well. Now that the curfews are being lifted, I don't know how much further it's going to extend, but typically it goes past 11 p.m. oftentimes.
Okay.
And the other issue is that they also use that back area as their party space. in which they have large congregations of people. And so those obviously, in addition to music, there's always obviously loud talking. There's to some extent that can be controlled, but they've built out that space so it's fully covered, so protected from the rain, so they can have people there all the time now.
Okay, thank you. That's very helpful. The other thing we can look into is in their COI, where the COI does permit and have a scope for the rear interior use. Oftentimes those do not, in which case that's an issue we need to raise with them. If it is covered, other things that we have done with other establishments is kind of work on hours and other mitigating actions to remedy any noise issues, especially getting into the evenings. So anything, typically with rear yards, we have them closed much earlier than 11. So I think, thank you for raising that. So having that dialogue is something that we need to engage with.
All right, greatly appreciated, and certainly appreciate the entire committee's time. So as far as next steps, do you work with Max? Is it Will? How do we get this moved forward?
Yeah, I'd say keep in touch with Will in the office, because they're the ones that have the access to us in the committee. We can do a little more. I will do more due diligence and request to know where the status of these things are, so that we can reach out to them again and have them at the very least attend one of the upcoming meetings. But understandably, that's still, if we do the next month, that's a whole month away. So I think we can find some mechanism to see if we can, whether it's send a letter and request something in terms of the noise in the interim, because obviously it's not, if it is as pervasive, we don't want it to kind of carry on without having some attention.
All right.
Elsie, what was the address of this location again?
236 East 77th Street.
Okay.
And if you're looking at their New York State Liquor Authority license, they spelled the name of the restaurant differently. Like their restaurant under the New York State Liquor Authority is under CAFE, Bon Justo, but their site is CAFFE. So if you're looking for it, that's where you would look.
Okay.
That's 236 East 77.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Now I see another, I think it's a public hand. Stan?
Hello. Hi. Hi. I actually put my hand up when he said that there were other tenants attending. I wanted to express my support, and I do want to say just one thing. This is not the dull roar of people having dinner. This is loud yelling and screaming and whooping and very, very loud behavior. So it's not just the dull roar of people quietly having dinner. It's much, much more invasive than that. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Just from the virtual standpoint, if it's fine if no others want to speak, but can I get another show of hands if there's other individuals that are here to also touch on this issue? Okay, so I'm seeing Sid, Stan. Oh, yep, David, Sylvia. Great, thank you so much. I just wanted to get, always just good to have a sense of the audience. So thank you very much. Okay, then with that, committee member comments, do I have, let me start with cause this time.
Yeah, I'm looking at 236 East 77th, and there's got to be something wrong or we're not doing our job. There's the one expired on 1999 and the other is inactive from 2001. So we've, this has to be checked with SLA tomorrow.
Yeah, no, agreed. That would be beyond perplexing because obviously they've been there for quite a long time.
And they've come before us. I remember they've come before us for certain things. So something's got to be different name or different something.
Yeah, and we can also have the office pull prior resolutions that we've had. So because I know you're right, we've had them before us.
Thanks. I have new business later on too. So at the end of this.
Okay, thanks, Cos. So then I will go to Ms. Brown put her hand down. Marco.
Thank you. I think we have a problem right here. I just checked, they don't have certificate of occupancy. They are located in RAB. This is strictly residential. Therefore, their operation is unlawful unless they have maybe they have a letter of no objection. But the letter of no objection, they will cover just only the inside of the place. And that building, I checked in the web, is almost as full. They cover even the rear yard. I think it's apparently one of the few buildings they disappeared the rear yard. However, they have a small area that is not even a rear yard. It's like maybe side yard. And apparently that is what is the business they operate. So seeing right now that they do not have CO, the only thing that made me think that why we approve this place is probably they may have a letter of no objection. And if they have a letter of no objection, they shouldn't use the rear yard. So that will be the issue in this case. I found it completely, let me see, I don't think, I'm just checking right now if they have the letter of no objection. Apparently not. Doesn't show no letter of no objections, but the most important part in this case is we have to call them and ask them for, first of all, how we approve. If they have no legal documents, how do we approve this application? That's a serious problem for us. And
yeah, so let's work with Will in the office and see what we have. So, but you're right, that is not a situation we want to be in. But let's see where we are, and then we can figure out what's the next step to. Obviously, we don't want.
With all respect, I think what we have to do is to schedule for the next meeting and an appointment with them to come and explain to us. Because right now, I'm thinking no letter of no objection, no CO. In a residential district, and usually I'm opposed this kind of applications normally myself. How they did it, I don't know. And we had to act extremely urgently in this case to fix if we did something wrong or they misguided, whatever it is, but we had to fix. They cannot continue, especially the use of the rear yard. That is very problematic.
Yeah, no, let's look into it, and we can definitely schedule it for the next meeting, but obviously take whatever action we need before then. So again, thank you, LC and company for raising that. Okay, Cos, you had additional new business?
Yeah, electric bikes. They are now legal in New York City. So I think we have to go back and revisit the forms and the stipulations and the affidavits that we get the applicants to sign. Music, correct me if I'm not mistaken, but music is now allowed with a certain number of people. So us asking the question about music is pretty well irrelevant. So we should clarify that with the SLA. I think we should also revisit a one-page short questions or something that the applicant fills out, that we don't keep asking the same questions over and over again to the different applicant. And if they fill it out, we have it. We don't need to ask about the C of O. We don't need to ask about music. We don't need to ask about electric bikes. You know, there's a lot of things that we need not keep asking, which would streamline the process. But that's an internal debate that we as a committee should have in the near future.
No, thank you, cause that's great. So yeah, we did issue that one pager that we worked on at some point or finalized last year that applicants do complete. Again, this was pre-COVID. We had worked on the one pager, so we only have one thing to look at for all questions. If we need to make updates to that, we can do that again now that we're now more removed from that. Russell and Barbara.
Thanks. I was just gonna say on the music, I mean, I don't know what the change has been, but I don't think it was ever not allowed. I think we've always just sort of asked it because, it's ultimately relevant for the discussion about the hours, and maybe we want to put a stipulation in about it or whatever. So I don't know what the change is, but I think we'll still probably want to ask about it for the same reasons that, we may want to incorporate it into the stipulations regarding hours and that kind of thing.
Right, and we just wanted to obviously, the doors and windows, because if they do have music, to keep it, there, obviously not to reverberate to, if it's a residential area. So it is still a question for the quality of life noise topic. But if there's any, I get as a whole, we're in a different changing environment. So if things have changed, I know one of the questions recently came up with regards to, okay, now that there's all this new outdoor, permanent structures, what's the situation with music there? So I think there's some areas that we still want to double check with SLA to see what changes may or may not have transpired. But definitely worth revisiting as we're where we are these days. Barbara.
I'd like one other thing. I didn't want to bring it up because I came in a little bit late. I noticed that some restaurants just don't clean their streets. I think it's Shake Shack. That is one bad one that you find dirt around. I wonder if that could be an additional question that's asked at times of how do you maintain your space, or will you maintain your outdoor space? And I don't mean because of COVID, I mean generally.
Yep. Yeah, that's something we've from time to time touched on and spoken to with regards to the Sidewalk Cafe. Again, now it's a different environment, but the problem is still potentially there. So you're right, that could be a tweaking or addition to the general form language.
Thank you.
I am making note of all of these items. So okay, Marco.
Thank you. I think I'm going to comment what Barbara said. I think what we should do is to send a letter to all these restaurants that doesn't clean, and then if they don't listen, we have to put directly a complaint to the Department of Health, and they will receive a violation because they're supposed to clean the front yard, the sidewalk, even 18 inches inside of the road. So if they don't clean, they will receive a violation. It's either they listen what I will recommend, or we can put a complaint right away. So we can create this kind of instrument to resolve this problem. And I think it's a good comment because we need to maintain clean our sidewalks and streets. I think it's a very good decision. The second part, basically, I would like to raise the issue of the bikes. That's mainly a serious concern. When we can try to pass a resolution saying that the manufacturer of these bikes should have built in the system a limit of the speed. If the car is only allowed to have 25 miles per hour, why the bikes have to go beyond that? So maybe we can recommend maybe 15 hours per hour or maybe 20 miles per hour. It should be a system that the bike cannot go farther than that. And I think that's we have to pass a resolution to go to the the state, so the state can regulate that part, and then we can have some help from them, because right now the bikes is a serious problem for the community. And I think I strongly recommend that we can pass a resolution in that direction, recommending the state reps working in the direction that the manufacturer in New York State have a speed limit built in the bikes.
Thank you, Marco. You're absolutely right in terms of the the bikes being a pervasive issue that's cutting across a lot of our committees, as we, was mentioned at our last full board. And again, I know we've talked about it. And I think it's happening that we're to have, whether it's a task force or a joint session, to really address all of these issues, because again, it's many, and we need to come up with a comprehensive view, I think, as a board to do that. And that's going to require, multiple chairs or even a task force. So that is something we will continue to move towards. Okay, Russell, thank you. I know that would.
Thanks. Yeah, I think Abraham, you summed it up pretty well. I mean, I think, issues around bikes and sort of bike enforcement, that's going to come up. And I know that the transportation committee will come, they'll be hearing it at some point. And I think if we make it a joint item, that'll make a lot of sense. But that is definitely something that's going to come up in the future.
Wonderful. Okay. Do I have any other? Oh, Cos?
Can I move to adjourn so I can have dinner?
Second.
Agreed. Seeing no other hands objecting. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. And again, thank you for Elsie and the representatives. We will continue to dig into that topic on Buen Gusto. Have a good night, everyone.